Hey guys, welcome back to Living Lord's Lessons. I'm Haylley, and today for episode 3 we're going to be talking about waiting isn't wasted. During my waiting season right now, I know I've found it difficult, and I want to share with you what I've done, what waiting has exposed in me, how I have reacted to it, what I've learned so far, because I'm still learning as I go, and this isn't the end of my waiting season. I know I've still got a lot more to do. So let's get into it. It's normal to have lots of questions, especially when it comes to waiting. And in relation to faith and into God, why does God allow waiting? In the perfect world, we would get exactly what we want. Boom, like that. And we would be happy. But what I've learnt is that not only does it allow for delayed gratification when you do get that thing, you learn to savor and truly be grateful for the blessings or the news that you get. But it's also a test of faith, a test of hope, a test of trust, where when we have no more control of the situation, we have to let go, because there is nothing that we can do. And all we can do is trust in God. We look at stories like Sarah and Abraham, right? Sarah was close to 100, both of them were, when they finally had a child. And God said, I'm going to give you a child. Now remember, even in today's age, that is not possible, right? Logically speaking, that's not possible. And so Sarah had her moments of doubt, and so she was offering up her servant, I think it was Hagar, to Abraham instead, saying, look, have her instead, this way you can bear a son. And yes, Sarah's servant had a child with Abraham, but that wasn't the will of God, because God fulfilled his promise to Sarah and Abraham that they would bear a child, and they did. And that child's name was Isaac. Look at the woman who bled for 12 years, right? So she would have been in complete agony. During that time, she was casted out, or she had to be isolated because she was unclean. Think of how hard that was for her for 12 years. In the story, we hear that she went to how many doctors, spent all her money, and still no one was able to cure her, no one was able to help her, no one was able to heal her. And then she hears of Jesus. Within her faith, she believed, all I have to do is if I touch him, not even him, but the corner of his garment, I will be healed. And then what happened was she touched a thread of his garment, and instantly she was healed. And Jesus said, I felt the power leave me. Who touched me? And obviously his disciples or apostles are saying, there was heaps of people here. There's crowds of people. They're all pushing against us. Like, how? What do you mean someone touched you? Of course, like, there's heaps of people here. But he said, no, someone touched me. I felt the power go out. And that's when she spoke up and she said, it was me. She spoke of her story, and Jesus replied with, it wasn't my clothing that healed you. It was your faith. How amazing of an opportunity would it have been that she was able to be healed by the Jesus, that he spoke to her directly and said it was your faith that healed you. Think of all those people that Jesus healed, right? Lepers, the blind, the deaf, the mute, the paralytics, those who had demons in them. How many of them for how many years? Because back then they didn't have the technology and the knowledge that we have today, where we can just go to the hospital and put our arm in a cast and then it'll be better, or our leg, right? They didn't have that. So pretty much when someone had broken a bone, your bone was broken for like the rest of your life. So imagine how many of them were able to be healed by Jesus. But even Jesus himself, right? Jesus was 33 when he died on the cross. He didn't come out of the womb preaching, having followers, healing people straight away. No, he had a season of preparation too. He had a season of waiting. And he's the Son of God. For most of his life was ordinary. His time of waiting was necessary. Not only physically to grow up, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all these things come into play so that he was ready, so that when it was his season and his time, he was prepared. A lot of us, we want things straight away because it will give us instant gratification. And we're like, oh yes, think of things like the lottery, right? We wish we had millions of dollars so that, oh yeah, I might buy a new house, buy a new car, go travel here, spend some money there, like invest money here, start a business here, start a family, all these different things. But another thing I've learnt during my waiting season, and in times when I pray to God and I ask, please, I wish I could have this right now, I wish I could have that right now, is that, number one, once we get these things, we'll never be satisfied. We're always going to want more. And number two is that if you did get this thing today, would you have the knowledge and the experience and the skill to receive it, to maintain it, to grow it, to push through when times get hard? If you were able to buy the house of your dreams, right? Would you be able to maintain it? Would you know what to do? How to clean it, look after it? Would you know how to repair it? Would you know how to do some of it yourself? Would you know the experts if you couldn't do it yourself? Would you have the money to put into it to get it repaired and fixed if it came to that? Think about having a partner. If you were to get your dream partner, your dream wife, your dream husband right here, right now, would you be ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically? Would you be all of that? Would you be ready in all those aspects to have that partner? Would you be able to maintain that relationship? Would you be able to push through when there's conflict? How do you deal with conflict? What are your standards? Because there's nothing wrong with having standards. What are your boundaries? What are you looking for? Do you know what you're looking for? Are you willing to sacrifice other things in your life in order to maintain this, to keep it, to hold on to it? This goes for any and every dream you can think of, because it's so easy when we have a dream to think of all the positives, right? Maybe it's money, maybe it's love, maybe it's freedom. There's so many great things out there, so many positives that we see when we look at our dream. But it comes with a cost, somewhere, somehow. We have to be aware that we can't have everything in life. So if it is within God's will and He does give you the thing you want, right? We thank Him, we praise Him, we pay it forward to Him. But we also know that in order to have these nice things, normally that means we have to sacrifice something somewhere in order to maintain that thing. I'm not saying in all cases, but most cases there's some sort of sacrifice. Whether that be time, whether that be money, whether that be relationships, all these different things. Also, something that I found really hard during waiting seasons is we have to be prepared to be fluid in what happens. What you have in mind and what you want, the Lord might not want you to have that. Maybe He says that's a great plan, but I have something bigger and better for you. Maybe you're so focused and so narrowed on this one thing, but God wants you to take a step back and look at the bigger picture of what He wants for you. Maybe it's so much bigger, so much better than you even dreamed of. And I know what it feels like to make so many plans, to have so many different dreams, so many different ideas that didn't come to be, that wasn't what God had in mind for me then or what He has for me now, and that I have to accept. And I don't look at it like, oh, I haven't got it, so, that dream's dead. Because who's to say that it will happen? It's just going to happen in time. Maybe God still has all these things that He wants for you, just like you want, but He has it in a different order of a timeline. Sometimes the cost of our dreams outweighs the benefit. I'm not saying that's for all, but depending on each person and their priorities, it can be that way. Also making sure that your dreams and your goals not only align with your priorities. If family is a big priority to you, then you need to make sure your goals align with that, or be ready to sacrifice something else in order to keep that priority. If your priority right now is money, you have to be ready to sacrifice other things in order to keep that priority as your first place. So make sure that your goals and dreams obviously align with you and your priorities and values, but ultimately that they are the will of God. Don't get me wrong, we all like to have a little bit of luxury, right? But if you're sitting there saying, I want a flash car and I want a flash house and I want to have a boat so people can look at me and think, whoa, this and that, maybe that doesn't really align with God, and it's a bit superficial and it's a bit greedy, and maybe you're missing the point of the whole thing. And again, it comes back to heart posture as well. If you want to start a business because you genuinely want to help people, sure, you get money out of it. Like, that's great because you need to fund your lifestyle or be able to earn a living. But if you genuinely want to help other people, maybe it's a product, maybe it's a service, maybe it's connecting with others. If you genuinely have a good heart posture and you want to do that and it aligns with God's will, I don't see God saying no to that. Or if he does say no, it would be a no for now. Or maybe he wants to pivot it slightly so you can do more. If you want to go to school and study, right, to help other people or to become more knowledgeable or to, deepen your faith or deepen your knowledge so that you can then pass it on to others. That's good. That's what a teacher would do. That's good stewardship of your time, your knowledge, your skills, your experience. If you desire a partner in the future, right, or you want a partner right now, God's going to make sure that before he even shows you or tells you or brings that person to you, that you are in the right headspace, that you aren't going to be people-pleasing, or that you heal from any triggers or things that might ruin that relationship. He wants you to have the perfect partner, but he also wants to make sure that you don't self-sabotage or you don't go and ruin it because you weren't ready. He wants to make sure that you were ready so that you get your happily ever after. When we have these goals and these desires and these dreams, it's so easy to fixate on them and to put them above God when that's the last thing God wants us to do and we want to do, because it can become an unhealthy obsession. If you're able to say, I desire this, and bring it to God, he's going to do what he can to the best of his abilities, if not exactly what you want, even better, to make that come true. But if we start putting it above God or saying, I need this more than God, it becomes a problem because you're starting to put it on a pedestal. If that's, say, a career, it might lead to burnout. If it's a partner, that might lead to conflict down the road because you are putting these unrealistic standards or you're leaning on them too much, that it's not healthy for you, it's not healthy for them, and it can cause trouble down the line. You might not be able to help them in ways only God can, and they might not be able to help you in ways only God can help you as well. During our waiting season, I always start out like saying, oh yeah, God, you got this. But I'm always fretting, right? I'm always stressing. I'm always thinking about the next thing. And I kind of go like this when it comes to my waiting season. Like 1 minute, I'm like, God, I trust you. Next minute, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I feel like I'm losing control. I start to panic and overthink, and just everything kind of comes up and I feel overwhelmed. But when we do have these moments of waiting, I have learnt that it's helped me, especially after uni, to stop and to rest. After uni, I really want to rest and recuperate. And physically, I was able to rest. But mentally, I was, for a car analogy, I might be in park, right? But I had my foot on the accelerator and I was revving. So my mind was still racing, trying to do 100 k's per hour. And yet I was stuck in park. And so even though the car looks like it's resting, it's doing nothing, mentally I was so lost. I was like, I need to do this, I need to do that, time's ticking, how can I find a way to be productive during this time, and make the most of it. And I was going in circles in my head trying to figure out what I needed to do, or I felt like I was already behind, which kind of goes into the comparison thing, but I felt like I needed to get everything done right now. I'm out of school, I need to get my life together pretty much. And yeah, I didn't know what to do. I kept asking God, and again it sounded like he wasn't answering, and I was struggling with that. Then I came to this conclusion that I think the reason why he wasn't answering wasn't because he was ignoring me, but because he didn't want me to worry about that. He didn't want me to fret over that. Like, he didn't want me thinking of the next thing. If he answered me, he probably would have continued, like, everything in my head would keep going. You know what I mean? It's so hard to explain how I got to where I am now, where I'm mentally resting and not stressing as much. at the beginning of this waiting season, which I was doing everything in my power to be productive physically. So I was out here cleaning the house, helping my siblings with this and that, doing all these different chores and things, all these little tasks that no one asked of me to do, but I felt like I needed to do in order to say that I did something. I didn't like the idea of like the day would end, and if I had a list of things that I did, I can only say I woke up, ate, and had a shower or something. Like, that really made me feel pathetic, lazy, unuseful, all these things, when we're not meant to be on 24/7. We have to have times of rest, or else we do burn out and it ends up worse than if we stopped early. Also, I had to find out and realize that it's not the end of the world if I spend a day just lounging. I really struggled with that, even on my restful days, or like days where I said, oh yeah, I'm going to rest. I had a to-do list of how to rest. I would have a shower, I would journal, I would go for a walk, I would make sure to get vitamin D, drink lots of water, read a book, all these different things that in my head was finding ways to make resting productive so that I can say, oh yes, I did rest, but I didn't just lay on my bed. I did this. The first 6 months was really hard. I am doing something right now, and I'm trying to figure out where my healthy limit is of productivity, but also not overdoing it so much that I burn out. Sometimes I get stressed still. Sometimes I worry and I still cry and I still ask God all these questions. But to keep the analogy going, because I was still in high gears for so long, it was kind of like I was finally able to run out of fuel to like properly stop, if that makes sense. So that in a way I didn't break, but like I surrendered. I wallowed for a few days, for a few weeks, but I came out of it, and honestly, I don't think I would have been able to mentally rest properly if it weren't for this season. And what kept coming back to me was that saying that I said earlier, that if I did get what I wanted right here, right now, and I did have all the stuff, would I be able to maintain it physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? And the answer is no, I don't think I would have. Whereas now I'm in a much better headspace where I'm able to go a day without doing anything crazy. I'm able to just rest and feeling complete enough with how I spent my day. Like, I'm not looking back on it, regretting it, or wishing I did something else more productive. I look at it as like, I'm so grateful that I was able to spend my day just basking in God's creation. Sometimes we really do need to just sit and touch grass. I do anyways. It's not the end of the world if this doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world if that doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world if this does happen. Life goes on. It's so simple, but when you get caught up in the world, it's so easy to think, oh my gosh, my life is over. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to think in extremes like that, when in all honesty, no one's keeping score. You're the only one keeping score of yourself. No one's fixated on you that much. Not to burst your bubble or anything, but no one's overthinking or thinking about you as much as you are. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Let God handle it. That's the biggest one I can just say, is just let God handle it. He has the time. He has the energy. He has the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience, the skills to do everything and not break a sweat. And if he's telling you to do something, do it. Right? He knows what's best for you. If he's telling you to rest, rest. There's probably a good reason why he's telling you to rest. If he's telling you you're going to have to be patient a bit, it's probably for the best. Nothing worse than wishing for something and then having it half-baked, half-cooked, and it's not even that good. I would rather wait a little longer and have it done perfectly, have it done right, have it done up to my standards or even better, than get it right now and it's not what I expected or it's not ready. I feel like there's so much more I could talk about waiting. I just can't really find the words, because waiting is so long, it's so silent, and it can be so painful but it can also be so peaceful at the same time. Because in a way, it's like, you don't have to do anything. That can be both, like, such a scary thing to say and such a great thing to say. Because on the scary side, it's like, I can't do anything. Like, surely there's something I can do to sway whatever is into my favor, right? But also, if you look on the other side, you don't have to do anything. It's like, phew, God's got it. And I wouldn't trust anyone more with my life, with my future, with my plans than God. Because He wants the best for you. If anything, He wants even better. He's not going to be selfish and say, oh no, or He doesn't want to tear you down. He doesn't want to, see you fail. He wants to see you succeed. I'm so happy and so grateful to have Him be the author of my life. All I have to do is listen to Him. All I have to do is do as He says, and it'll all work out. That sounds like optimistically positive, like a little over the top, but sometimes you need a little bit of faith, positive delusion to really get you through that, hey, it's all going to be alright. And there's really no point in fretting. Like, in the Bible, Jesus says, being worried or stressed or anxious doesn't add another day onto your life. If anything, it's probably taking away. So, save you the time, save you the wrinkles, save you the stress, and just leave it to God. I read another great quote that during your time of waiting, serve others. Maybe it's something as minuscule as helping a neighbour with something really little, really trivial, or helping your family. Maybe it's volunteering for your community or something. But I notice that when we do things out of the love of our hearts, that isn't for our own benefit, but maybe for the benefit of someone else. I don't know about you guys, but it definitely makes me feel better. Especially when you hear, like, thanks, or you hear a thank you. It's really heartwarming. It just shows a lot of appreciation. And when life seems to be difficult for you, or you feel like your life's out of control, or you can't do anything, it's nice to feel that you can help someone else. Or to say, well, while I'm waiting on my life happening, I'm happy I'm able to make someone else's a bit better or a little easier. Or maybe just be a friendly face, just show up. So how do we stop trying to force doors open? I'm still struggling with this. I think I always will, but again, let go, let God. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Sometimes you need to just detach from it. Look at it as it's only a matter of time. There's a lot of things in my life where I have this faith on a specific topic, a specific dream or goal, and that I have this unwavering faith that it will happen. It's only a matter of time, and that I will end up getting there. I will end up achieving it. If God closes a door, I like to think of two things. Either one, He closes a door, He opens a window, right? So maybe it's not what you pictured, but it's something better, or something slightly different, but just as good, if not better. Or number two, He closed that door to save you from something that you don't know yet. Maybe He's saving you from heartbreak. You think this person's the one for you, but he's not. So He's stopping it right then and there to save you future pain, conflict that could be worse in the future. Maybe God said no to all those job applications. Could be 100. Maybe because He knows something that you don't yet. That you are needed somewhere else. That you would benefit even more, even better, somewhere else. And it's only a matter of time before you get the right job, before you get the right career. Maybe you haven't been able to get a house recently, right? You've applied for this one. You've gone to the bidding or something. All these houses, for some reason, they're just not going to you. Now, you can either look at this as like, wow, I have such a big streak of bad luck. God doesn't want me to get a house. Or maybe you can look at it as God has a better place. Maybe it's the location, maybe it's the area, maybe it's the people that would better fit to you. Maybe your family, maybe you can make a difference in that community, or that community can make a difference in you. God can see the future, right? Maybe He's putting you in this location right here, right now, to help someone, right? Or maybe someone's going to come along and help you change your perspective, or you change someone else's. Maybe you're going to bring someone closer to God. Maybe you're going to help someone with their goals and dreams. Maybe you're going to be that bright light that someone needs in their life during their dark moments. Maybe this change is going to bring you to meet new people. Maybe this hardship and these trials and tribulations are going to make you more resilient, or help you to learn more knowledge, or make you more experienced so that you can pass that down to someone else. Maybe this is all in God's plan anyways. Something I'm currently trying to figure out. How do you know the difference when times get difficult if you should give up? Because maybe it's God telling you, like, this isn't for you, or when you should continue to persevere in spite of these hardships because God wants you to build resilience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like my content, if anything resonated with you, if you'd like me to touch base on this more, or there's other topics you want me to talk about. I love yous all lots, and I'll see you all in the next video. Love yous. Bye. Mwah.